Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Aduria Chumba. Today is the day many Americans traditionally must have their taxes submitted. This year, though, that deadline is extended to Tuesday. People across the nation have been protesting the president not releasing his tax returns in the way many before him have done. ABC's Anthony Wilson has more as people in our state took to the streets today. Good morning, Eastern North Carolina. It's March 18th. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Aduria Chumba. The cold temperatures the last few days giving way to a much warmer weekend. Let's go straight now to meteorologist Matt Callahan, who's in the Storm Track 12 Weather Center with a first look at your forecast. And we're learning the downtown Raleigh apartment complex that burned down Thursday night was inspected more than 50 times before. The latest inspection was just on Monday. Now the investigation into what sparked the fire is underway. Here's reporter Jonah Kaplan with more on the construction company who owned the building and the pending investigation. Good evening and thanks for joining us on News Channel 12 and Fox Eastern Carolina. A very noticeable dip in temperatures today coming along with all that rain, and it's looking like it will be here for a few days. Storm Track 12 meteorologist Matt Callahan's been tracking the developments, right? Carteret County detectives are investigating a murder-suicide in Morehead City. News Channel 12's Nicole Griffin spoke to neighbors who watched the scene unfold right in front of their home. Carolina, thanks for joining us on News Channel 12, 6 p.m. I'm Aduria Chumba. Today is Earth Day, and many in Kingston joined the celebration by learning about the environment. News Channel 12's Nicole Griffin brings us a look at this first event. Today kicks off National Volunteer Week, and the American Red Cross of Eastern North Carolina is honoring its volunteers who give their time to help people in need. Last year, ENC Red Cross volunteers provided food, shelter, comfort, and hope to more than 1,600 local families who faced emergency situations. Additionally, they helped more than 4,900 local families following Hurricane Matthew. National Volunteer Week is April 23rd to the 29th. I like the sound of the warmth and rain. Not what we had last week.
No, quite a different story.
Very big difference. All right, well, take a look at this. Tourists and a BBC camera crew had to run for their lives. This video captures them sprinting for safety as Sicily's Mount Etna erupts nearby. Big news tonight as Vice President Mike Pence is about to visit South Korea. The regime in the north has suffered a humiliating setback on the same day it was flexing its muscles in front of the world. ABC's Brian Clark reports a missile launch intended as a show of military strength has gone down in flames. As President Trump nears his 100th day milestone, questions still remain. Will he receive funding for a border wall? And what's the come of his Obamacare replacement? We'll have more coming up. Good morning, Eastern North Carolina. It's Sunday, June 18. Happy Father's Day, and thanks for waking up with us. I'm Aduria Chumba. The threats of rip currents along our beaches remain high. This as we learn another person in Carteret County died this week while trying to save teenagers from the rip currents. News Channel 12's Nate Belt tells us what happened in Atlantic Beach.
Warm, too.
Yeah, it looks like it was a fun event.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you can try some barbecue. Whew.
I know.
That's a good event right there.
All right, well, another airline is in hot water. American Airlines just pulled a United and threatened a passenger after violently taking away a stroller from a mother. On the eve of Easter, one man in Greenville is breaking bread with his community to help inspire them to get an education. News Channel 12's Nicole Griffin went to West Greenville to find out why giving back means so much to him. Jackson says he was able to hold the event thanks to support from Pitt Community College and partnerships with NC Civil and the Westgate Project. North Carolina is seeing an increase in pedestrians being hit or killed by moving vehicles. Distracting cell phones and too much alcohol being blamed for the increase. U.S. pedestrian deaths grew at a faster rate last year than at any other time in the past 4 decades. North Carolina alone saw a nearly 25% increase in the first half of last year. A report says alcohol used by the driver or pedestrian was reported in about half of all pedestrian deaths in 2015. The NCAA will announce its championship game venues for the next few years on Tuesday. Charlotte is waiting to see if it will get the bid. Charlotte battles in-state rival Raleigh and Columbia and Greenville in South Carolina to host one of those events. Until recently, the NCAA said the Tar Heel State had no shot at hosting a championship game. The organization decided to lift its boycott against the state after lawmakers repealed the controversial House Bill 2. 3 westbound lanes of I-40 in Durham shut down for about 2 hours this afternoon. Multiple small fires caused a shutdown of 3 of the 5 lanes there. 16 units from the Durham Fire Department and several surrounding areas were on the scene battling the fire. That fire is now contained, but authorities say it continues to smolder. The cause of the fire remains unknown, but crews estimate about 2 acres burned. Easter eggs fell from the sky in New Bern today as part of Temple Baptist Church's second annual egg drop. Over 15,000 eggs were dropped from 2 helicopters onto a field next to the church. Once all the eggs landed safely on the ground, the kids were able to run out and grab them. There were several drops for different age groups, ranging from infants to 5th graders. The organizers of the event say it was their goal to bring families together for Easter. An 8-year-old boy heard the tornado coming through and took cover in his closet. He shared his experience with me.
Yesterday when I looked, they were about right here.
8-year-old Connor Parker, a self-described weather fan, describes what he saw and heard.
But we were looking out the window, and then we started hearing like that, and then I thought it was just a regular hailstorm.
But from watching the experts, he says this storm was different.
This one was like ground like a cat. And I'm going to estimate tornado.
There's no confirmation from the National Weather Service whether this damage was caused by a tornado or whether it was just strong winds. The team has not yet stopped in Terrell County to survey the damage, but is expected to do so.
So that's no good for Rocketeer now.
While he waits for the official determination, Connor is busy doing his own assessment.
And that big whim right over there was the whim I was talking about that took off that tree. I'm guessing we had a tornado because my ears were popping when I got in the closet.
As we mentioned earlier, that tornado has now been confirmed to have touched down in Terrell County. And we also have an update on an EF1 tornado that destroyed the Archerville Fire Department in Sampson County, just west of Duplin County. The volunteer firefighters on duty Tuesday afternoon squeezed under the trucks in the garage to ride out the storm. No one was hurt, but their 3 fire trucks were smashed. Help is on the way, however. The Princeville Fire Department is loaning a truck to Archerville. This is to repay the favor given to their department. Hurricane Matthew destroyed the Princeville Fire Department. And a Facebook video shows people racing through a Raleigh townhome complex, kicking in doors of the burning building, making sure no one was still inside. About 18 to 20 people are homeless this morning. The American Red Cross is helping them. Nobody was hurt in the incident. People who live in the complex went door to door, making sure everyone got out safely. A man who lived there was heading out to run an errand when he saw the fire. All right, that's all the time we have now. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow.